What's up guys, Intellitech Studios here, and today we'll be doing a video on the Miele U1. That's what it's mainly known as, also known as the S7, which is what the older versions of this machine were called, but to my knowledge they're entirely identical. The full name for this machine is the Miele Dynamic U1 Twist Powerline. This is the basic model, the twist model, which twists like all the other Mieles, but it doesn't have the LED headlights, and well, I think that's really the only difference than the other units. I think some models might have a slightly different control scheme on the top, but other than that, they're the same, and of course, attachments and whatnot. Oh, and this is the model without the HEPA filter. This is the model with just the basic Miele air clean filter, which is due to be changed, so at some point I will replace this with a HEPA filter. But even without the HEPA filter, it seems to do a solid job. You can tell it is in need of replacement. It's supposed to be that sort of off-white color, and it's a, black. So this particular filter comes in a little cage and whatnot, and it's recommended that you replace this with a HEPA filter. There's even one you can get with activated charcoal, which is kind of interesting. And one little thing that I noticed is that it's very loose in here, but the way this is designed, it actually pushes it against. You can kind of see it as I close it. It pushes it against and seals whenever you close it. And it opens and closes very easily, just clicks in. So all that is good. One weird thing I noticed that's, well, I guess good and bad, is that there's no actual debris, and maybe a little bit, in the actual output, but there is like some little bits of dust on the top. Maybe that's just stuff that slipped in from storage and whatnot. But yeah, so this particular machine I got a very good deal on. Got it for only $100 from another vacuum collector. It was actually the same one who sold me the X5, the Cibo X5, a number of years ago at this point. And unlike that one, this one I actually kept. So this machine, I had always wanted one just to try it, and I've been using this the last couple days as my daily driver. I've been using it intermittently along with the Bissell Liftoff Revolution Pet. So this machine has been getting a little bit of usage as of late. I do need to get some more bags for it, but the full review on this will be coming out soon. But for now, I haven't done a video demoing this machine and using it in my living room, so we'll do a nice little demo of that. Now if we open this up, I just got a hair in my mouth. Ugh. So if we open this up, we can see there's a little latch right here, which we pop open, and there's our bag. Now, this particular bag is the Miele Style U bags. I know, what a shock, right? For some reason, the cat is being weird for some reason, so if you hear some background noise, that's why. Bag check indicator right there. Nice little bag right here. Now, this is the only bag that's in it. I need to get a pack of bags. Now, this Miele is one of those machines where they strongly recommend against using aftermarket bags because apparently they don't work right in these. So I have a genuine bag in here. It's the one that it came with, but it still has a good amount of space left in it. There's only a little bit of debris at the bottom. This is a very large bag, so it should take a while for it to fill all the way up. Now, this bag door does not come off, at least not easily, and it kind of locks into place. But once it locks in, it's kind of awkward to get it unlocked. You have to kind of just push it, and sometimes you have to wiggle it to get it on. And as you can see, it sits very loose in here, but as you close it, you kind of see it pushes the collar up to bring it up and seal it into place, and then it clicks in. So pretty decent design there. It is a top fill bag, but unlike the Cibo, it's basically like the best of both worlds, because the Dyson has a low mounted hose, so it means you can easily drag the machine along and you don't have to worry about the machine tipping over. And the Cibo has a top fill bag, but because the hose goes right into the bag, there's no real way to get a low mounted hose because it just enters right in the top of the bag. This kind of does a little bit of both. So the entrance to the bag is up top, but the air has to travel a lot further to get to it. Very similar to a Panasonic or a Bissell or pretty much anything these days. It goes in through the main nozzle, and it goes up through, and it goes through the main suction hose. So everything goes through the main suction hose, just like many other machines. it loops around, goes in, and then it goes up. There's a little airway inspection port right here in case it gets clogged. Goes all the way up and into the bag. So allegedly it'd be prone to clogs, but I haven't had that issue yet, thankfully. We'll see if that becomes an issue before I do the full review, but so far hasn't been a problem. I don't know why I'm talking about this as if I'm doing the full review. Sorry about that, but this is supposed to just be the demo. I'm supposed to just be giving first impressions of this, but I do like it. It is quite heavy and bulky, and it is a bit top heavy as well, so it's not exactly the lightest in the hand, but I haven't had too many problems using it. It does tangle with hair a good amount, but there are little channels, as you can see, to cut that off. And the tangling hasn't been too bad. Can someone explain to me why it is that my cat will literally sleep all day and do nothing, and the second I'm trying to record a video is when he decides to go into crackhead mode? I love Rocco, but Rocco! 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 He's just not going to listen to me. Oh, and somehow this popped down for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, I guess it's stuck now. Okay. But yeah, so anyways, enough of that. We're going to pop this. Oh, and it twisted because it's the twist, of course. So we're going to push this in the upright position. And you got to kind of wiggle it to get it to lock in sometimes. But yeah. Oh, look what's playing on the TV. So, we'll go ahead and stop babbling and give this a run. That's really awkward, the way it pushes down like that. It has to pull up before it pops down. But anyways, we'll give this twist a twist. Now it's on curtains right now because I was using the tools earlier. It's got deep pile, low pile, and smooth. Although the way that this adjusts, it really should be low, medium, high, and extra high. But I don't know. I guess that would just make too much sense. So yeah, I guess smooth or maybe deep pile. This is kind of a deep pile carpet, so I always run it on smooth, but we'll try that real quick. Now this vacuum is very quiet, so I can actually talk. As you can tell, I bought Ruby a plush candy corn literally yesterday, and she's already completely destroyed it. I don't know what she did with the squeaker, but looks like we've got some fluff to vacuum up. So, I really like doing these separate vacuuming videos in addition to the full review on machines, because it tells me a couple things. First off, as you can see, flop. Cat approval factor, very important. What do you think, Bubba's? He is purring, but you probably can't tell. You like it? You can also tell I got rid of my rug. The only reason I had that rug up here is because of that little hole in the carpet, but I'll patch that at some point. Hi. Rocco. Rocco, you must video bomb every single video I do nowadays, don't you? Yes. 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 Flop. 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 Hi, Bubba's. Hi, Bubba's. Hi, Bubba's. Flop. There's the flop. But yeah, so not only is it good because you have to test the Rocco approval factor, this particular machine is very, very, very nice. This is one of my favorite machines in my collection. And it really is a shame because, of course, this machine has been discontinued. It is no longer available, to my knowledge at least. So that's unfortunate. So this particular machine you can't get anymore, and at least not through any official means. But there's a million of these out there on the used market. You can get them for incredibly cheap. I just saw one not too far away from me for 150 bucks. So you really can't complain. Now, Sebos and Lindhouses, you're pretty much never going to find on your local listings unless you're just in a very wealthy neighborhood or an area with a lot of vacuum stores, or at least one that's really, really prominent. If you're anywhere else, the only machine that you're really going to find that's a premium German upright is going to be this one. This is the U1, or the older S7, which is the same machine. So keep that in mind. Also, central vacuums you probably are not going to find unless you're in a specific area anyways. So so your mileage may vary with that as well. So the Miele U1 is definitely interesting in the fact that you actually can find these in the right places. Sir, I'm trying to work. Flop. Flop. Oh, no flop. 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 Oh, sorry. Flop. Okay, there we go. He's distracted for a bit. Look in his butt. So, what was I saying? This machine you can actually find, and that's very fascinating because that means that you could potentially find a really good deal on one of these. Yes? You just snarl at me, sir? You sad because I'm not giving you attention? Okay. Sorry for the interruptions. But anyways, you can actually find these on the secondhand market, and they're excellent machines. And the great thing is that even though these are discontinued, Miele has a great track record for, at least to my knowledge, this is what I've heard from people, so obviously if you're an actual Miele dealer, then take your own experience into it more so than anything that I say. But it seems unlikely that repair parts for this machine are going to disappear in the next, few months or even couple years. So you've got some options if you pick one up for cheap that might have a small fault with it. So that's very good. And there is enough demand for these machines to be fixed that I'm pretty sure there should be enough of a market for these to be fixed for a while. So even if you find one for really cheap that's not in terrible condition, you might be able to find it. And here I go again, talking about the review aspects of this, not just simply vacuuming living room with it. So I guess clearly I'm subconsciously eager to do the review on this, which must mean that I like it. So the Miele U1, So the Miele U1 is definitely a machine that I really enjoy. The biggest problem I have with it is in regards to, well, you can just tell by looking at it, it's a bulky thing. It's incredibly bulky. It weighs dozens of pounds, not a dozen, but at least 24 pounds. And, it's however many kilograms, it's a lot more kilograms. So it's a heavy thing. And yes, the swivel neck is very handy. It's incredibly smooth on this machine, but when I use it for an extended period of time, my shoulder and my arm gets worn out very quickly. If I'm not using the swivel neck, it's not as bad, but you have to use a lot more torque. Not torque, that's not the right word. This machine turns easily, but it requires a lot of weight to turn it, if that makes sense. And the turning is also not as parallel to steering as you would think when you compare it to something like a Dyson ball, where when you turn, it's automatically turning in the direction you're already turning, if that makes sense. Whereas this, the body appears to swivel slightly independently of the neck. You have to move the body a lot more to get a little bit of movement out of the swivel neck and out of the cleaner head. And you can't just turn and go all the way around a corner. You have to actually be steering, and you have to physically turn your body to get around the corner. That's something that does make it a little bit harder to use, and the weight does come into question. And it's unfortunate because every other thing I like about this machine, I really like. As I've been using it the last few days, I love how quiet it is. It cleans very well. It's not amazing of a deep cleaner. I don't get the sense that it's pulling up a lot of crap. I'm very, very confident that my SIBOs clean better than this, but it's definitely not a bad cleaner from what I can tell. It appears that it is doing a decent job, and it's at least enough to where I can be reasonably satisfied, but at the same time, I don't really get a lot of agitation out of this. My carpet is still a bit matted. There really isn't a lot of fluffing and grooming going on here. So it's definitely not bad, but it's also entirely possible this machine is given an unfair advantage because this carpet hasn't been shampooed in a long time. I've used a lot of machines on this, including machines that people say are amazing deep cleaners, and they still struggle with fluffing up this carpet. So it's definitely not just the Miele. I think my carpet in general is just in need of a reset, so to speak. So that is worth noting. But if you have a carpet that's already matted, this machine's not going to pull it up by any means. It's not going to do something that any other machine can't do in terms of cleaning. One thing I love about this machine, though, on the opposite end of the spectrum, is the tools. The tools on this are fantastic. This machine is probably my favorite upright when it comes to tools, because it has a nice telescoping wand. It has a really nice handle. I wish it was still removable, but it's easy enough to ignore it while you're using it. And it has a great set of attachments. The attachments on this are just absolutely amazing. And I've been using this to clean my couches and whatnot. And the fact that you have the suction control on the machine, something I've been complaining about a lot with my Dyson and with the SIBOs. I know the Felix has it, but most of the other SIBOs don't. This has it standard. Now, again, the labeling is really bizarre and doesn't make any sense. It should be a lot more obvious. Low, medium, high, high. But for whatever reason, it's not. But obviously on the curtain mode, It does great on, obviously, curtains, but also upholstery, and for dusting and all that, it's perfectly adequate. And I really like it because it doesn't suck down to everything, but it has just enough power, just enough suction and airflow to get the job done. Because you really shouldn't need a lot to get good tool performance. Something that I wish Dyson and Shark would really kind of take to heart. This upholstery tool is fantastic. It's a great size. It reminds me a lot of an older Dyson upholstery tool. I don't know which came first, but it's got the felt strips to pull up hair and whatnot. And unlike the Cibo, where it just has that one stupid brush, crap doesn't get stuck in this all the time. So that's really nice. So that is really excellent. Dusting brush, it could be a little bit bigger for my tastes, but you can swivel it. It has nice soft bristles, and since it is smaller, it is a bit more concentrated, so it does dust very, very well. So that's great. And of course, nice long crevice tool, nothing crazy to say about that. So I've really enjoyed using this machine, and I'm really going to enjoy doing the full review on this because it frankly is a machine. Oh, wow, almost got your tail. Sorry, buddy. It is an amazing machine, and while there are definitely some things I don't like about it, obviously nothing's perfect, I've been very, very happy with this. And of course, my fiance, who is not a vacuum collector, but definitely appreciates the uniqueness of my hobby, to say the least. Or just say, well, to say the least and the most. I think that's where it begins and ends. But after using this machine, he took over vacuuming during one of the times that we were doing some house cleaning yesterday. And he was like, can we keep this one downstairs? And that's always a sign of a good machine. Because he said the same thing about the Ball Animal 3. He said the same thing about the X7, I believe. Yeah, I think it was the X7. I think that was the Cibo that he said that about. So just coincidentally, all my most expensive machines my fiance wants to use, which I think is fair. You know, nothing wrong with that. And I'm trying to remember if there was any other machines that they really liked. Not to my knowledge. I think he enjoyed the Liftoff too, which again is the most expensive Bissell, so again it fits the category. But yeah, so this particular machine is, I don't know if it's going to be my daily driver, but I've been using it and I've been having a reasonably good time. Now, there obviously will be times when my shoulder and my back is not going to allow me to use a machine this heavy, and I acknowledge that. So, but I never use only one machine at once. I always have at least 2 vacuums downstairs to alternate between. So maybe this alongside, I don't know, maybe one of the lighter weight Dysons, you know, because I always have a bagged and a bagless machine downstairs. So maybe fitting this with like the Multi-Floor 2 or something like that might be a good idea. Or I'm trying to think of another lightweight bagless machine that I have. I don't know. Maybe I would just go all bagged and use the Sanitaire or one of the Power Forces alongside this. I don't know. We'll see. But this particular machine is very nice. I've been enjoying. Oh God, really, dude? Why'd you have to do that? He farted. This machine is definitely one that I've, been relatively happy with. And, I haven't noticed any real problems with it, which is definitely good, especially for the price. I will eventually upgrade this filter to the HEPA filter. I don't think I'm going to get the one with charcoal in it, because I find the charcoal filters, at least all the ones that I've used, tend to lose their charcoalness. I don't know if that's a word. After a very limited period of time. So we'll see how well, if I can be convinced to get the charcoal variant, but for now I'm just going to go straight HEPA. And in the meantime, using some Unstoppables and scent beads and all that has been perfectly fine. This is one of those machines where I pulled it out and turned it on, and it had a really bad smell coming from it, just from crap sitting in the bag. Not literal crap, but just, dirt and whatnot. So I threw down some scent beads, vacuumed it up, and this is one of those vacuums that's very, very receptive to that. Like, I threw those down, and then it smelled great, and it smelled great ever since. So it doesn't take a lot to get this machine to smell nice, which is definitely nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really need to mention in this video. Obviously, I've been rambling a lot. My apologies for that. But there's a cat right there. Hello, cat. Hi, cat. So that's pretty much that. Apologies for the rambling, but I will likely you'll see the review on the Liftoff Revolution pet, and then maybe this after, because I don't like to double track the same machines in following videos. But likely we'll see that, and then maybe I'll work on a video with one of my more goofy machines that I haven't done a video on yet. Maybe that Musu, if you guys remember that. But yeah, so that is that. The Miele U1 vacuuming living room. Again, you know, it got everything. I'm gonna check and I'm gonna set this down real quick, and I'm gonna check and see, look at the brush roll, and see if anything got stuck in it. Oh yes, the classic dryer sheet always gets stuck in the brush roll. So many vacuums really struggle with getting stuff stuck. Oh, and apparently that piece of plastic didn't get picked up either. Okay, well, they can't all be winners, I suppose. I don't think you're supposed to suck up dryer sheets anyways, but some vacuums handle it just fine and some don't, so. But I better pull that out so that's not taking up space that an actual... Sir, it's not a toy. You're gonna get your paws stuck in it. We'll get that pulled. Stop it. Sir, stop it. I'm trying to see if there's... What are you doing, dude? Do you think this is a game? Sir, I know you don't have the brain cell right now, but come on. Quit it. What are you doing? Are you licking the brush roll? What? Dude, hey. Sir, what is wrong with you? Where is your brain cell? Where's your brain... sir, I said, where's your brain cell? What are you doing? No, don't. You're gonna scratch that. Quit being dumb. Stop it. You can be a dum-dum at any time. Not right now. I'll pull this string out. Pull this fuzz out. Stop it. Pull this fuzz out of here. No, that is not food. Stop it. I said stop it. I said stop it. Wiggle those paws. I said stop it. Stop it. Okay. Yeah, throw all these away, or just use the hose to suck them into the bag, which I might just end up doing, just so I have to pick them up. Sir, that is gross. Stop that. Ow! Sir, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Ow. Stop it. Okay. No. Stop it. The part's not a game. Okay. Let me get this cleaned up before he tries to grab it again. Gotta pull this darn hose out. Alright. And we'll put this it is on curtains. Good. We'll put on curtains. Hey, there we go. No, don't want that. I've wasted enough of your guys' time, so I'll let you guys go. This is Intellitech Studios signing out. And there's another video on the U1 playing in the background. Is this John Smith? Yes, it is. Okay, so John just won the lottery, so go subscribe to John Smith, since that happened to be playing in the background. I know Hank's Garage was also playing in the background, his review on this, so go subscribe to both of them. I don't think either of them make that many vacuum videos these days, but I don't care. Go subscribe to them anyway, show them some love. And that's about it. There's a bunch of other people I would shout out, but there's too many to name. Also, there's definitely, you know, a lot of these out there, and there's a lot of videos on these. So it's not exactly like this is one of those machines where there's not a good shortage of videos on. But just like the SIBOs, there isn't a lot of unbiased reviews. There's a few, like Hank and John both did good videos on this machine. But there's also way more from dealers and stuff trying to sell you these from a few years ago that aren't exactly objective and just try to pretend like everything's perfect. And this is definitely a great machine, but as per usual, every vacuum sucks. Every vacuum is terrible in some ways, and we'll tear it apart limb from limb in the full review. Not literally, there's no reason for me to take this apart, but we're gonna definitely give it the old criticism, not criticism, it's not just negative, but you know, objective, you know what I mean. We're gonna review it. So anyways, this is Intellitech Studios signing out. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, I imagine the retention on this video is probably going to be terrible, but whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.